Hello, my beautiful little dark angels. Welcome back. I've been under deadline for a while, so I feel like I've had to abandon ship a little bit with YouTube just to focus on deadlines, but we are free now. We're back, and today we're back to walk us through a full illustrative piece that I worked on actually last year, but this is our first time seeing it together as a YouTube family, so pretend like this is the premiere, okay? So for this piece, I've kind of been obsessing over vampires for a little bit. I don't know if it's because I watched Vampire Diaries for the first time, and then I just felt like vampires could be anywhere. And I just really wanted to do something to kind of honor that vampire obsession a little bit. And I landed on doing a piece that is about a vampire on a first date at a vampire cafe. However, unfortunately for her first date is actually a vampire slayer, and so she had to do what she had to do, you know what I mean? But just to start, I'm so sorry. What happened here at the beginning is that I was trying to make it one specific size. I was going for like a portrait style, which just means that the length of it is taller than the width, basically, but it wasn't working. And so when I flipped everything, I put in Procreate, put it back in Photoshop, back and forth, and eventually I ended up making it landscape, and it felt a lot better, and I added a lot more people to it. Originally it was just going to be a bunch of people crowded behind them in the cafe itself being onlookers, but I decided to spread it out. So you have a couple people in the cafe looking, and then you have a couple on the outside there who are, walking by, minding their own business and catching a glimpse of the carnage. I also, for some reason, wanted to set this in the 70s. Don't know why. I'm just feeling very 70s lately. So I did try to pull a lot of references from my fashion in like the 70s look. You can see me flipping through my little Sears catalog book here to kind of land on some shoes and some look options for what I was going for. But I don't know if it reads very 70s when you see the whole thing. Like, I definitely was pulling from that like reference bank, but I don't know, you tell me. Does it feel 70s? Does it feel kind of like, girl, this could be any time? Which, on the one hand, does that make it timeless? Things to think about. Other things I definitely forgot to record because it was happening in the process of trying to figure out how things were gonna go was the faces of our main people here, because I completely got lost in the sauce. I figured out the landscape thing and then I just kept going and completely forgot to record that part. And honestly, I've said this before, a lot of times when I'm trying to figure things out when it comes to illustration, I just can't record it. It feels like too many eyes on me. I can't, okay? I don't work good under pressure. So yeah, I just completely forgot. And those are my favorite faces in the whole thing, so I'm really upset that I didn't record it. I really wish I did. I'm so sorry. To compensate for that though, I did manage to get everyone else's faces, so I hope that will suffice. That'll make up for my faux pas with that. My bad, y'all. It's just things happen, okay? So something that I was very excited about when I was working on this was the kind of change up in style. I think I went a little bit more stylistic, if you will, with the style of this, which I really love that, and I haven't done lines in a little bit. So working with line art and like mixing up this style to be a little simpler was really fun for me. What I didn't find fun, perspective. Nobody checked the perspective on this. I am so sure it's wrong. Yeah, don't look too crazy. Don't look too heavy at it, okay? It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so I've been very bad at recording the process. I don't know, when I'm in it, it is very hard to think about recording it for some reason. So I'm kind of gonna walk through what I did while I wasn't recording, just so you get an idea. So these are my flats, basically, and that's my color study up in the corner, but I'm show you them bigger. Let me change the angle of that so you get a better view. Okay, so we did the lines. You see the lines. Cool. So we have two different color studies here. We got this guy, and I'm gonna make up some text to go on the side because it's supposed to be kind of like a fake book spread. So we have that guy and we have this guy. I'm kind of leaning towards this, but with a few changes. So I'm also trying to see what it looks like in black and white. So, you know, a little trick there so that's easy to see in black and white. Basically, you make a fully black layer and set it to color, and that way it will make everything underneath it in like a grayscale. So we did that. You know, it's fine. It kind of works. The here and his jacket are too much of the same color, so it's hard to distinguish. So I did change it because eventually I went with that color study. That's the one I like the most, so check that off. So this is me putting the flats together to get it done. So it looks a little meh. I don't know. I always go through this thing with like illustrations where we're in the middle of it, so it looks horrible. But I like how it looks when I look at the color study for the most part. So we're gonna just push through and see what happens. And you can see, I'm gonna lower this a little bit. I did change around his jacket and everything. It was like an orangey color in the color study. I made it brown, like a darker brown, so it would stand out a little bit more. Next to the but I think I have to make the a little brighter. Yeah. I don't know if I explained the premise of this, so I'm gonna do that real quick. Basically, it's like there's a vampire, this girly pop right here, and she went on a date, but the guy's actually a little vampire hunter. That's his stake down there. I'm gonna have to like really draw attention to that. Somehow, we'll figure it out. So she did what any good vampire would, and sucked his. And everyone around has noticed. Like all the, can I move around a little bit? Everyone has noticed. And with the shadows, I'm gonna make it so everybody or everything here is casting a shadow except her. And it's gonna be moonlight and foggy and all sorts of stuff to try and like play into that. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens when we do it. One of the things you may have noticed is that I do have a kind of blank spot in the top left-hand corner of this, and that's because when I was originally coming up with this, I kind of envisioned it as a book illustration type of thing. So I really wanted to leave that area blank to put text in, which I do have in some versions of this I have saved. I do have text on that area. I don't know yet if I feel like it reads very much as an illustrative piece, like in a book illustration piece, I mean. But, you know, we'll just put some text up there. It'll serve its purpose. Point is, that's why there's a blank spot. Can I just say, I'm obsessed with all the facial features in all the characters in this. One of my favorite things in illustrations, especially illustrations that have a lot of figures in there, is kind of seeing what everyone's reaction is like in like these scenes. And that was one thing that amused me in drawing this, is being able to play with like all these emotions. And I find it very funny how the disconnect between her being the vampire, her bored expression, like she's so over this, can't believe this happened again, to everyone else being like, oh my god, what did I just see? But I mean, I don't have it up yet, but I named the cafe. I feel like they should know what kind of clientele comes through here. It feels like you guys knew this was coming. I don't know. Oh, one thing I had a lot of fun doing with this piece is kind of scribbling when it came to coloring everything in. For like another project, I was asked to kind of give like a scribbly color book type of look to how I painted things, and I really fell in love with it. I vibes with it. I've kind of done this before to a certain extent with like some fan art pieces that I did, but I don't think I've ever taken that approach to like a full illustration like this. And I had a lot of fun. I think it gives a lot of energy and a lot of like vibrancy, because I sometimes when you're painting and you're not using a textured brush, I use a round brush a lot on Photoshop, and you get kind of like this very slick look to it, and this distracts from that look completely, and it gives it more of kind of a hand-drawn feel, which personally I like a lot. So it was really fun to play with doing that for this piece. We are now nearing the end of the video. It was kind of a long one today. I think it's been a while. I kind of missed you guys. What can I say? So I thought maybe we just go a little extra this week. But you know where you can find me. All places on the internet under Momo Steel or Momo Steel Art. Also, I launched, in addition to the Patreon, I have a Substack now. I think a bunch of the art types are moving to more long form content and trying to, take our art off places that AI scraping is a thing. So you can definitely catch me on the internet. Most of, if not all, my links will be down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And new videos on my channel every other Saturday. But until then, have a good one, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye!